This is a recording for the book on screen B1 Plus, pages 54 and 55. Please open your student's book and go to section 1. Okay? Section 1 says, what do the pictures show? A painting, a drawing, photographs, or sculptures? Listen and read, please.
The pictures are probably paintings and show various animals such as an elephant, a tiger, and a duck.
Okay, so this is a special type of art. Now let's go to section 2. Now we're going to read the following sentences. 1. Guido is a hyper-realistic artist. Now, what is a hyper-realistic artist? And let's see. A hyper-realistic is an artist characterized by particular realistic graphic representations. Number 2, Guido Daniel paints portraits of animals. What's the meaning of portraits? A portrait is a drawing of a person or an animal. Number 3, Guido started his career as a photographer. Let's check the meaning of career. Career, the period of your working life. Number 4, his work raised public awareness for the WWF, helping to save endangered species. So let's check public awareness and endangered species. So raise public awareness is a phrase and means to bring something to people's attention. Endangered species is a type of animal or plant that is at risk of extinction. Okay. Now let's see. Number 5, his model had to stay still for a long time. In other words, his model still not moving. Still is the meaning of not moving, means not moving. So his model have to not move for a long time. 6, his work is exhibited worldwide. Let's check the meaning of exhibit. To show something for the public for pleasure or information, okay? And let's check, let's go to the next part after checking the meanings of these words. Now, what is handy mail art? How are the sentences below related to it? So you're going to read a text, listen and read this text. This text you have it in your student's book. And then after that, you have to tell me how these sentences, 1, Guido is a hyper-realistic artist. 2, Guido Daniel paints portraits of animals. 3, Guido started his career as a photographer. 4, his work raised public awareness for the WWF, helping to save endangered species. 5, his model had to stay still for a long time. And 6, his work is exhibited worldwide. How these sentences are related to the text, okay? So listen and read, and then we're going to check your answer.
Handimal art. The fur seems so real you want to stroke it. The eye shines like it's alive. The scales look cold and wet, as if fresh from the sea. Guido Daniele's portraits of animals look exactly like photographs, and it's true, they are. But look closer, and you can see the outline of a thumb, and maybe even a fingernail or two. Guido's handimals are not photographs of eagles, birds, fish, and snakes, but photos of models' hands that have been painted to look exactly like different creatures. Guido became famous in the early 70s for his body painting and photography. Then one advertising agency saw his work and had the handimals painted by Guido to promote their phones. The combination of handimals and handheld gadgets worked like a dream. Guido remembers.
I researched each animal to see how I could transfer it to a hand, and then began bringing it to life.
Guido is still very fond of the very first handimal he painted, a cheetah. He was so pleased with it that he was encouraged to carry on with his creations. Since then, he's worked on many other advertising campaigns and also helped raise public awareness for the World Wildlife Fund, the world's most famous environmental organization working to save endangered species. His work has been successful mainly because it looks so true to life. His paintings are part of the hyper-realist movement, paintings that are so realistic that they look more like photographs than paintings. Surprisingly, each one is painted in just 3 or 4 hours. The only problem is, it's difficult to get models to stay still that long. That's why Guido mostly uses his son and daughter. He says,
If you're spending hours holding someone's hand, I'd rather it's the hand of someone I love.
Guido's work has been exhibited around the world, and he's now considered one of the world's best hyperrealist artists. There is another problem with Guido's handimals, though. At the end of a day, Guido's models wash themselves. His masterpieces are showered away. But this doesn't bother Guido too much.
At least I start each day with a fresh canvas,
he says.
Okay, guys, so let's come back and let's check section 2. So how are the sentences? How are these sentences related to the reading that you have just read? Let's see. Listen and read.
Handymal art is a specific type of art created by a hyperrealist artist, Guido Daniel. He paints hands to look like animals. The sentences below are about Guido.
Okay, good. Now, let's check these words. Okay, these words are found in your student book. And we have fur.
Fur.
Means the hair that covers the animal. Fur, pelaje. And then we have
Stroke.
a stroke, to touch lightly and repeatedly as with brushing motions. Stroke, acariciar. And then we have
Portrait.
portrait, a drawing of a person or an animal. Portrait, una pintura de una persona o animal.
Outline.
Outline, a line around something that show its shapes. Outline.
Advertising agency.
Advertising agency, a business dedicated to creating, planning, or handling advertising for its clients. Advertising agency, agencia de publicidad.
Promote.
Promote, to help to sell a new product.
Research.
Research, to study a subject in detail in order to find new information. Research, investigar.
Transfer.
Transfer, to move something from one place to another. Transfer, transferir.
Bring to life.
Bring to life, to cause something to seem real. Okay? Bring to life, traer a la vida.
Carry on.
Carry on, continue doing something, continuar haciendo algo.
Creation.
Creation, something that somebody has made. Creation, creación.
Advertising campaign.
Advertising campaign, an organized program of advertisement. Una campaña de para anunciar algo.
Public awareness.
Public awareness, the majority of people understanding something, okay?
Environmental organization.
Environmental organization, an organization that seeks to protect the environment. Environmental organization, una organización ambiental, en pro del ambiente.
Endangered species.
Endangered species, a type of animal or plant that is at risk of extinction. Endangered species, especies en peligro de extinción.
Hyperrealist movement.
Hyperrealist movement, a school of art characterized by particular realistic graphic representation.
Realistic.
Realistic, of a painting showing things that as they really are. Realistic, realistico.
Surprisingly.
Surprisingly, unexpectedly, surprisingly, sorpresivamente.
Stay still.
Stay still. To remain motionless. Stay still. Permanecer quieto.
Exhibit.
Exhibit. To show something for the public for pressure. Exhibit. Exhibir.
Masterpiece.
Masterpiece. The most outstanding work of a creative artist or craftsman. Masterpiece. Una obra maestra.
Shower away.
Shower away. To remove something under a shower. Shower away. Tomar un regaderazo.
Bother.
Bother. To make somebody feel worried, upset. Bother. Molestar.
Canvas.
Canvas. A strong, heavy cloth used for artists for painting on. Canvas. Canvas. The same in Spanish. Pliego para dibujar.
Handheld gadget.
Handheld gadget, a device of control small and light enough to be operated while you hold it in hands. Handheld gadget.
Design.
Design, a drawing from which something may be made. Design, diseño.
True to life.
True to life, representing things as they actually are. True to life.
Scales.
Scales, a small flat plate that cover a fish or snake skin. Scale, escamas. Okay. So let's go to the next part. Section 3. We are going to listen and read one more time the text and fill in the gaps 1 to 5 with the correct sentence, A to F. So let's see. A. The combination of handimals and handheld gadgets work like a dream. And we have number 1. We have number 2. We have number 3. We have number 4 and number 5. To begin with, he needs a design to work from. And again, we have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. See, his work has been successfully mainly because it looks so true life. And again, you have to choose the correct paragraph. Okay. D. The scales look cold and wet as it is fresh from the sea. E. There is another problem with Guido's hand's email though. And F. That's why Guido mostly uses his son and daughter. So listen and check your answer. Listen and choose the correct option, okay? And fill in the correct option.
Handimal art. The fur seems so real you want to stroke it. The eye shines like it's alive. The scales look cold and wet, as if fresh from the sea. Guido Daniele's portraits of animals look exactly like photographs, and it's true, they are. But look closer, and you can see the outline of a thumb, and maybe even a fingernail or two. Guido's handimals are not photographs of eagles, birds, fish, and snakes, but photos of models' hands that have been painted to look exactly like different creatures. Guido became famous in the early 70s for his body painting and photography. Then one advertising agency saw his work and had the handimals painted by Guido to promote their phones. The combination of handimals and handheld gadgets worked like a dream. Guido remembers.
I researched each animal to see how I could transfer it to a hand, and then began bringing it to life.
Guido is still very fond of the very first handimal he painted, a cheetah. He was so pleased with it that he was encouraged to carry on with his creations. Since then, he's worked on many other advertising campaigns and also helped raise public awareness for the World Wildlife Fund, the world's most famous environmental organization working to save endangered species. His work has been successful mainly because it looks so true to life. His paintings are part of the hyper-realist movement. paintings that are so realistic that they look more like photographs than paintings. Surprisingly, each one is painted in just 3 or 4 hours. The only problem is, it's difficult to get models to stay still that long. That's why Guido mostly uses his son and daughter. He says,
If you're spending hours holding someone's hand, I'd rather it's the hand of someone I love.
Guido's work has been exhibited around the world, and he's now considered one of the world's best hyperrealist artists. There is another problem with Guido's handimals, though. At the end of a day, Guido's models wash themselves. His masterpieces are showered away. But this doesn't bother Guido too much.
At least I start each day with a fresh canvas,
he says.
Okay, guys, so let's check your answers. Let's start with number 3. Number 1, I'm so sorry. Number 1 says, and let's see. We have the first seems so real. You want to stroke it. The eyes shine like it's alive. Now, let me use one of the tools so you can see something. So let's use, sorry about that. So it means the first seems so real. You want, and the eyes shine like it's alive. So here we're talking that the painted drawings, they look as they were alive. So let's see if we have a sentence that mentions something about the drawings looking alive. So let's see letter D. The scales look cold and wet as it fresh from the sea. And this is the correct answer for number 1. Why? Because before the text, they mentioned that the drawing seems so real, like it's alive. And then there is a sentence is a continuation. They mentioned the scales of the fish look all cold and wet as it fresh from the water. Number 2, and let's see number 2. Okay. And let's see, number 2. Before number 2, it says, then one advertising agency saw body painting and photography, then one advertising agency saw his work and had the hands emails painted by Guido to promote their phones. Okay, so, and you have promote their phones before the text. Okay, so phones, a synonym for phones. And let's see if we find something, one of the sentences that refers to mobile phones or cell phones. They are the same, they're synonyms. And look at this, letter A, the combination of hand emails and handheld gadgets. A handheld gadget it can be a cell phone. Work like a dream, okay? Okay, and you can see it. Number 3, let's go with number 3, ready? Number 3, let's see. Number 3 says, let's go to number 3, and it says, his paintings are part of the hyper-realistic movement. Paintings are so realistic they look more like photographs than paintings. So the paintings are so realistic. Here there is one sentence. Let's try to find one sentence that refers to the drawings, to the paintings, that they look extremely realistic. And let's see. Letter C, his work has been successfully mainly because it looks so true to life now. A synonym for realistic is true to life. Number 3 is letter C. Let's check it out. You can see it. Number 4. Let's see number 4. Okay, number 4, it says, the only problem is difficult to get models to stay still that long. He says, you're spending hours holding someone's hand. I'd rather it's the hand of someone I love. And let's see if we find a sentence that makes reference to a person still stay still for a long time. And let's see F. That's why Guido mostly uses his son and daughter. And this is the correct answer. Why? Because they mention someone I love. And obviously, Guido loves his son and daughter, okay? Finally, number 5. Let's see 5. It says, Guido's work has been exhibited around the world and he's now considered one of the world's best hyper-realistic artists. At the end of the day, Guido's model watch them sell, wash them away, they get erased. And let's see, letter E, why? Because this is another problem. There is another problem with Guido, Hans email though. At the end of the day, Guido's model watch or get erased themselves. His masterpieces are showered away, okay? So please check your answers. So we can continue with section 4. Okay. This is section 4. Now, after listening and reading the text for 2 times, what is the author's intention? Okay. After listening and read 2 times, what is the author's intention? Let's see.
The author's intention is to inform the reader about an artist and his creations.
Good. Let's go to the next part, section 4b. In your own words and based on the information in the text, answer the questions. Now, this part, I'm going to show you, okay, the answers from the book, but this part you have to do it by yourself. I'm going to check it in time class with your own answers, with your own words. Get ready. 1, why do people mistake Guido's image for real animals at first? Oh, because they are so realistic and lifelike that they look like real animals. And you find this in the text. It says Guido Daniel's portraits of animals look exactly like photographs. Number 2, what does Guido do before he creates animals? Now, he does a lot of research and work out how he can do it on hand. And you're going to find this in paragraph B. I researched each animal to see how I could transfer it to a hand. Number 3, what does Guido find difficult? What does he do about it? Now, the models have problem not moving for a long time, so he uses his children. And let's see. It's difficult to get models to stay still that long. That's why Guido mostly uses his son and daughter. Number 4, how does Guido feel when his art is destroyed every day? And he doesn't worry because he knows he has a fresh canvas every day. That's in paragraph D. It says his masterpieces are showered away, but it doesn't bother Guido too much. At least I start each day with a fresh canvas, he says. Good. Let's go to the next section. Ready? Please check your answers. Remember, I want the answers with your own words, okay? Section 5, you're going to choose the correct word. You have number 1. Guido wants to shine, raise, or bring awareness about animals in danger. Let's see different meanings. So we have shine, to be bright. So Guido wants to be bright awareness? No. Now, this is a phrase, raise awareness. It means to bring something to people's attention. So Guido wants to raise awareness about animals in danger. Number 2, you can see the model, the samples, or the outline. Let's see the meanings. Model, a small copy of something. Sample is a specimen. Outline, a line around something that shows its shape. Okay, and let's see. So let's check which one is the correct option. So you can see a small copy, no. A specimen, no. Of people's fingers in Guido's photo, no. And a line around something that shows its shapes. In this case, it's outline. You can see the line around the picture that looks like a hand. Number 3, Guido uses a design, pattern, or combination of art types to create his hand email. So design, a drawing from which something may be made. Pattern, a set of shapes that are repeated regularly. Combination, different things put together. So let's see. Which is the correct option? So Guido uses in this case is combination, different things, different types of arts to create his hand animals. Number 4, Guido's images have been used to promote, encourage, help a company product. And let's see, promote, to help to sell a new product. Encourage, to give positive reinforcements and advice. Help, to give assistance. And obviously, in this case is to promote company's product, because when you're promoting a product from a company, you want to sell that product. Number 5, the animals in the portraits look like they are true, alive, or live. Is it true, actual, or truthful? No. Alive, not dead. Alive, not dead and living. So in these cases, the animals in the portraits look like they are alive. 6, cats love their heads to be stroked, encouraged, and transferred. This is from the previous vocabulary. The stroke, to touch lightly and repeatedly, as with brushing motions. Encourage, to give positive or informing advice. Transfer, to move something from one place to another. So in this case, it's a stroke. That the meaning in Spanish would be acariciar. Okay. Please check your answers. So we can go to the next part. Let's go to the next part. Ready? Now find word or phrases in the text that means. So for we have paragraph A, paragraph B, paragraph C, and paragraph D, and we have paragraph A, B, C, and D. Okay. Now we must find a word or phrases in the text that have the same meaning. For example, for paragraph A, okay, and let's start with paragraph A. Same as, and let's see, and let's go to paragraph A, and you can see, it says Guido Daniel's portraits of animals look exactly like. So a synonym for same as, exactly like. Now a synonym for well-known, that's paragraph B. Now this time is paragraph B, well-known. Okay, let's find well-known. Guido became famous. A synonym for well-known, famous. Now, a synonym for studied, still paragraph 2. Let's see. It says, Guido remembers, I researched. A synonym for studied, researched. Persuaded. A synonym for persuaded from paragraph 2 is persuaded. And let's see. It says, he was so pleased with it that he was encouraged, he was persuaded. Okay. Now paragraph C, motionless. And let's see, motionless. It says, it's difficult to get models to stay still. So motionless, still, okay. Then displayed. Let's find a synonym in paragraph, that this time is paragraph D, paragraph 4, for display. And let's see, Guido work has been exhibited. In other words, displayed. Now, thought of us. Okay, this is a difficult one. Let me show you the answer because this is a difficult one. It's consider. Okay, synonym for thought of us. Consider. Now, worry. Let's look for the synonym of worry. And does, it says, but this doesn't bother. So synonym for worry, bother. Now synonym for new. And let's say, at least I start each day with a fresh canvas, with a new canvas. New, fresh, okay? Check your answers, please, so we can go to section 7. Go to the following section, writing. What impressed you most about Guido's work? Write a few sentences on the topic, then read them to a class. So you're going to write at least 5 sentences that impress you from the reading, from the animal art, okay? And you're going to share them with the class. For example,
I'm impressed that the animals look so realistic. I'm also impressed at the attention to detail he put into his works.
Now, this time, also you're going to use, I'm going to play a video, and I want you to use this video to write 5 sentences about the animal painting, okay? Let me play the video.
Hand-emal art. These could easily be mistaken for a photograph of a zebra. Everything about these painted animals, at a quick glance, looks real. But take a closer look, and you realize that they are paintings. These pieces of art are not just any type of painting. These beautiful animals are the perfect examples of hand-emal art. Hand-emal art is a special type of art. Instead of painting on canvas, the artist paints on the hands, wrists, and fingers. The art is considered part of the hyper-realist movement and was made famous by the painter and photographer Guido Daniele. An advertising agency saw the hand-animals he had painted, and they started using them to promote their phones. Guido takes his hand painting very seriously. Before he paints each animal, he researches it fully to see how he can transfer it to a hand as realistically as possible. He selects which feature of the animal fits best on which part of the hand, and then selects a type of hand, male or female, fat or thin. Each hand-animal takes 3 or 4 hours to complete, a difficult task for the hand models who have to sit still through the entire session. Guido's work has been exhibited throughout the world, and he's now considered one of the best hyper-realist artists. He has worked on numerous advertising campaigns, and in the past, he helped raise awareness for the World Wildlife Fund, the world's most famous environmental organization, working to save endangered species. Many artists have followed his example, and hand art has become famous in many parts of the world. But those who are fans of the movement still consider Guido as the master of hand-animal art.
Okay, guys, so write your 5 sentences. This is an example, and this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.